Hey everyone, Matt Pisarcik from RazorEmporium.com coming at you today for a different kind of video. 5 things you didn't know about Razor Emporium. So, I got started with this because of skin issues. Yes, it's true. I didn't get started because I wanted to become a razor Mongol. I didn't get started because I wanted to learn about chemistry or replating or polishing metal. No. I did like antiques, but I was looking for a better way to shave. And took me on the path of finding an old vintage, set of Gillette razors, and I had to learn how to fix them up, clean them, and I started saying, hey, why can't these look better? What if we could refinish these? But the whole time I was getting better results for my skin and my beard. I stopped getting ingrown hairs and irritation. And just recently I shot some videos with cartridge razors, and look, I even got a nasty ingrown hair here, because it all comes back. The moment I get away from double edge, all my problems come back. So that's why I'm into double edge. That's why I'm into Razor Emporium. It all got started because I am just like you, looking for a better way to shave. Another thing you may not have known, I kind of just mentioned it, is I fell in love with the antiques. I really did. I always used to enjoy going to antique stores and checking out vintage, furniture or old machines or old equipment or old cars, anything vintage, old radios, old watches. I like all that cool manly stuff. And so it was just kind of a natural extension. I read an article that I could find a double-edged razor if I went out into the world to an antique store and found an old Gillette, and that's what I did. I went to an antique store and I picked up, a handful of razors that day, and it set me down this path of getting into the antiques and going antique hunting, looking for more razors, buying and selling and trading and fixing them up and collecting. And I went all over the whole state of Arizona. I literally had a map in my apartment, and I had crossing them off. I've been to this town. I was always planning the weekend trips of how to get to the next town, and I'd get there and scout out, the 7 or 8 stores and hit them all, and I walked them with flyers and stuff. I'm looking for old razors, and I took it real seriously, and I was kind of how the business started, right? I met other collectors along the way. There was a local guy named Roy Johnson who was a big major collector. He was one of the major contributors for the Gillette Collector's Handbook that Phil Krumholtz did. And I went to his house dozens and dozens and dozens of times. I would go over there and hang out and learn from him, talk with him, and look at his collection. And he would sit on his porch and smoke cigarettes. And he even worked for Gillette, so I got to ask him all sorts of fun questions about how it used to be back in the day as a salesman on the route, putting fat boys in the store. And he collected literally in the heyday, so it was cool. And then even my love for collecting antiques went even bigger. I got asked to come out to Cincinnati to help out with Procter & Gamble with some of the research they needed to do in the history of Gillette, and I knew all this, and so I got to work with them and go to the archive department. And there was a big collectors meeting also in Cincinnati area that used to happen, and I went out there many times and gave presentations and saw other people's collections and learned from some of the real old-time, serious razor collectors. And the funniest thing with the old razor collectors is that most of them don't use double edge. They're most always into cartridge razors or electric razors, and they always thought it was weird that I was making that bridge. Not only was I collecting the old razors, but I was using them. They thought that was so strange and sacrosanct to even use this old stuff. But yeah, my love for all of this came out of a genuine love for antiques and for quality stuff and learning how to collect and just kind of built it slowly. Something you may not know, we have a beautiful lobby in Phoenix that you can visit Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's right next to the airport. We get tons of people who come in from out of town on a business trip, and they take an Uber and they come drop by, or they're in between conferences, or they're out here for spring training, or they live local and they find out for the first time after watching one of these videos that we're here in Phoenix and you can come see us. It's a great place to come in, smell products you've always wondered what they smell like, touch, brushes, feel the weight of a razor, get a little lesson on how to drop off a razor for restoration, whatever's needed, we got you covered. Come to our Phoenix shop. We got it for you. It's all for you guys. Next, I've attended wet shaving meetups all over the country. So I'm really happy that I have gone everywhere from Michigan to the Maggards meetup. I've been to Huntington Beach for meetups out there in California, Florida for the South Florida Wet Shavers meetups. We've had our own meetups here at Phoenix at our shop. Last February we did one. I love going to meetups. I've gone and met people up in upstate New York, like went to see Holy Black, went to Pastor's Pharmacy. I would love to go to more, and I'm happy to start going to events again as they start popping up, and as obviously my time permits, but I love going to meetups. I love meeting you guys. I love going to events and handing out t-shirts, shaking hands, meeting people, getting to know you guys. But this community is awesome. The community is so welcoming, so inviting. There's so many awesome people out there. So if you haven't been to an event, or if you're thinking about putting an event together, invite me, put it together, put an event together in your area. Events are awesome. They're a way that wet shaving can grow, can share in the community and meet other people with like-minded interests. So events are cool. I like being there. Another thing you may not know is that if you call, you may get me on the phone. That's right. I'm not going to tell you what hours, what days I pick up the phones, but let's just say I'm always listening. But yeah, we're not a giant company. People think that we're like a company with like 80 people and a call center, and people are like just waiting there like operators with a headset on, like Razor Hotline, Razor Emporium. Like, it's a very small team. Sometimes if the line's busy, it's because we're literally helping someone that's in our store and we can't pick up the phone. Other times, you're on the East Coast or you're somewhere else in the world and we're still sleeping, and you call and you get the message and we're just not up yet. But we're in there 9 to 4, Monday through Saturday, Mountain Standard Time. You may get me on the phone. I do a lot of the technical support questions. If you got like a real in-depth, serious question about some razor from the 30s or what this is worth or how I can improve this technique. It's hard for my staff to be as into it as I am. You can't exactly put an ad in the wanted, classified ads for people who are wet shaving enthusiasts to come be your employees. So most people who come to work for Razor Emporium don't have any background in shaving. Of course, we work with them and teach them everything, but I'm there as well to answer hard questions, in-depth questions. So call and you may just get me. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's short video. It's different than normal, but 5 things you didn't know about Razor Emporium, and hopefully by the time you're watching this, there's even a 6th thing or 7th thing. And if you do know something else, tell me in the comments below. What's something else about Razor Emporium that you think is really cool that you want to say in the comments below? And if you do leave a comment, you're interested to win this Razor Emporium Black and Blue t-shirt. That's all I got today, guys. Thanks so much for watching. We'll check you out next time at Razor Emporium for all things vintage shaving.